Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be unboxing the 6 starter sets for Shadowverse Evolved. At least in the first series of this game, these are the first 6. I don't know if they're going to keep doing this in the future. I imagine they will. But these are the first ones, and we're just going to go through them. So if you're wondering why does I keep doing these collectible card games, don't worry, I'm not becoming a collectible card game channel specifically. But I kind of realized that these games are really not that fundamentally different than a lot of board games that I play. And the main difference is that they are, of course, collectible. But that doesn't mean that they're not a game that is fun to play. And I actually really enjoy opening booster packs and seeing what I get. So, I wanted to try some out. This one is a relatively new one. I think it came out, I want to say at the end of June. I could be wrong. It has been out in Japan for a number of years. Like they're on Series 6 or something right now. So we're catching up at this point, but the kind of nice thing about that is you kind of know it's coming if you choose to research it. I don't know that I will very much, but you can. So I'm gonna go through these one at a time. I'm gonna scooch the ones I'm not currently working on to the side, and we'll just focus on one at a time. So this is the Regal Fairy Princess starter deck. Now, each one of those is dedicated to a certain craft, which I'll tell you up here. This one is Forest Craft. So there's 6 crafts, I believe, in the game. At least that's all the starter decks we have. And when you make your deck, my understanding is that there are some cards that could go in any type deck. And then, of course, there are cards specific to your craft. And those are the cards you have to pick from. You can't pick from ones that are not in your craft. Now, a lot of these games, I've said that, I haven't played, and that's kind of true with this one and kind of not. There's actually an app version of this game called Shadowverse, and I have played that, and it's not exactly a one-to-one because I guess some of the cards have been balanced differently in the app game, and then also some of the crafts were a little bit different. Like I think one of the crafts in here is like a combination of 2 from that version of the game. But that's okay. It still gives me a basic idea how it works. Now I've only just played it in the last couple days to kind of get an idea of what I was looking at a little more. So I'm no kind of expert in it, but it has been a fun game. I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. And let's take a look and see what we have here. This is just by the feel of it, it feels much more significant as far as the quality contents than some of the other stuff I've had. Perhaps. So this is your little defense counter. I think it's defense counter. Or you could think of it as a life counter, whatever. So you're going to start at, I don't know if you always start at 20 or if that just depends on the champion you have. It might depend on the champion you have. And that'll just keep track of it. We have various kinds of tokens here. Some of them are going to just be easy +1s, -1s to your attack and defense. Some of these I think are more status effects you put on other players or they put on you. So I will say this though, these tokens, much nicer than the ones you get with Lorcana stuff. I mean, it's still not very thick cardboard, but it's better than poster board, that's for sure. Okay, so here we have a playmat. I may have to zoom this back out to show you. Okay, so here we have a playmat. I don't know if I know all the parts of this yet. I know basically the 2 columns over here, the play points. Basically, you start off with just 1 as your max, and then you have your current here. So if you got up to the point after the 5th turn where you're at 5, if you spend 2, you're here, and you could keep going down as you go. And it's important to do that because there's some cards that you can play when it's not your turn, so you might want to save some of your play points to react to something your opponent does. So you have your cemetery, which is your graveyard. You have your deck, your leader card there. Evolved, your cards can kind of evolve into more powerful forms when certain things are met. And then banished, I'm less familiar with what the banished does exactly in this game compared to the discard. I think banished means it's out of the game entirely. I'm not completely certain, but it's something along those lines. Okay, I'm not sure what this is here, so let's take a little peek. I'm guessing this is the rule pamphlet to get you started. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, so it tells you how to read the different cards and whatnot. So nothing too crazy. It doesn't strike me as being an extremely complicated, convoluted game. So I think it'll be all right. I like that it has this pamphlet. I recently, you might have seen, I unboxed Grand Archive, and that didn't have any kind of rule thing in it at all. Like you have to go online, it seems, to get rules for that game, which is, I don't love that, but it's okay. It's just that I like to have something I can easily flip through rather than have to deal with the PDF or whatever. So, but you know, that's just me. Okay, so we're gonna get into this. Now, what I have heard is that these starter decks actually have decent cards. Like I don't think you're getting anything extremely rare or anything in them, but you get like some that are real staples for the craft that you're using. So some games are not so good at that. Like they don't necessarily give you a deck that's super fantastic at the get-go, but my understanding is that these are actually pretty dang good. So, all right, so we have RAF Fairy Princess. I'm trying to see if I can okay, so I don't know. I think this is just a, yeah, this is a follower. So I'm still getting used to how the layout of the cards are, because it does look very different in the computer game as well. So it's not, again, they don't even really look like cards in the computer game once you play them out. Like in the corner down below where you can see your hand, they do, but you know, as you put them out and even zoom in on them, it just changes to a different sort of thing. So, as you can tell, it's very anime style, which I love anime. And that's probably why I'm gravitating towards this one. This game seems to be doing fairly well for itself. I don't know what the local scene is like. I know there's one store at which there's a group that plays it. I don't know that it's specifically supported by that store. But, you know, any one of these could catch on, and since I'm not like big into doing a bunch of events, it's kind of okay to me if it's not a huge deal, as long as I can get a number of cards to play with and hopefully talk Hillary into playing it with me. But yeah, I was really struck by the art style. Something about the overall look of the cards is just really neat. I like this Elf Wanderer. She looks cool. I'm not going to fight her. Some of these cards you will notice are maybe, you know, more sexy pose or sexy dress than they have to be. You know, that's something that some people are going to really dislike, which I completely understand. I'm kind of used to it from the anime scene. For some reason, like I feel like I look at that through different eyes when it's from anime, just because I know there's a little bit of cultural difference, and especially since this game is actually from Japan, I believe, you can kind of expect it's going to have some different stuff. So some of these cards I've definitely noticed from playing the app version. I definitely have seen those goblins before. Angelic Snipe. I think I've had to deal with Angelic Snipe before too. Angelic Barrage. Rose Gardener. That's familiar too. So, oh yeah, so I don't know if you can tell here. So this one at the top says Evolved. So that's like the evolved form of that card. So there's, I don't know if I ran across it before in here or not, but there's probably a, the non-evolved form, which is what you usually play out first, but then when certain circumstances are met, you can evolve a card. It's usually after a certain turn, and then you can only evolve a certain number of them per game, depending on if you're the first or second player. Yeah, we probably did run into him, because I remember the Treant before. I was probably just talking when I got to that point. But it's kind of fun. The only thing that worries me about that is this is as you buy booster packs, you might get, you know, just the evolved card, which in that case, you can't play it until you get the basic version, which, I mean, not the end of the world, but. Okay, so these count as evolution points. It looks like these are the ones that will let you evolve a character kind of right off. Or not right off, but instead of using some of the other requirements. Okay, so this is my leader in this deck, Arisa. Now, she doesn't have any particular kind of attack or whatnot. I think she just kind of, as far as I know, I think these are all just basically... you know, I mean, they could probably put any character on here they want to, but, you know, she's specific to that particular kind of craft. And so that makes her deck seem kind of different. These are your fairy, I don't know if they call them tokens. Yeah, they call them tokens in this. And these cards are thicker. These are ones that, like, a lot of cards will let you put these out if, you know, if you do certain things. So it's like when you play a card or attack or whatever. So several of those, which is good. And they're, you know, really, they're not really powerful on their own, but there are cards, I don't know in this deck specifically, but there are cards that'll let you kind of buff them up. So you can get these out pretty easily and then buff them up to a much stronger level. So anyway, that is the first one. That is the Regal Fairy Princess deck. So let's move on. All right, on to starter deck 2. This is the Blade of Resentment. This is Swordcraft. So that gives you an idea. Now, the place I got a lot of information from this game from was from a YouTube channel called Red Zone Rogue. And he's very knowledgeable about the game because he's been playing the digital version for a long time. So he is very familiar with it, and it just kind of helped me get a feel for some of the cards. And as far as the starter decks go, he said like the one he doesn't really like is the one that I just opened, the Regal Fairy Princess. But I mean, he thinks it's not a bad deck, but it's just not his play style. It sounded like. Whereas this, I believe, was one of his favorites, if not his very favorite. So, all right, I'm not going to go through all this because it's going to be the same stuff as in the previous pack. Let's just get to the cards. I like this kind of clamshell thing they put in it because you can actually use it for storage. Some of the starter sets for some games are not really too great for that. Like you just cannot use them to store again. Okay, ooh, flinging them everywhere. All right, take a look. You have Tsubaki, nice cool foil one. These do have their rarity on them. So I'm not sure if I'm going to remember what they are. I think the L might be legendary, I'm guessing. And then you have gold, the Lathan Vanguard Captain, and a silver. And then I think there's probably a bronze, I'm guessing, as well, which might be your lowest. This is actually, I don't know if it was the same deck, but I was playing with this character, this craft, most recently on the app as I'm kind of learning the game. Yeah, so here's a bronze. So Ninja Trainee, there you go. And she's kind of cool because she has like these like military folks, and they can kind of help bring out other military folks, and then depending on their ranks, they can sort of help each other out. So it's an interesting deck for sure. I enjoy that. Wait, what was this? Oh, no, okay. I thought that was something other than bronze. The only thing that's a little different about this game compared to like the Grand Archive that I've unboxed before is almost all the pictures are really just like straight on close-ups of characters, which time will tell if I prefer that to other things that could be action scenes or weird cool magical effects, that sort of thing. I mean, I think they're both fine, but yeah, we'll see what I think of it as time goes on. Angelic Sword Maiden, she looks cool. She kind of reminds me of, god dang, what does she remind me of? She kind of reminds me of Sophitia from Soul Calibur a little bit. Maybe not exactly, but Floral Fencer. These are some of the evolved versions. Oathless Knight. Quick Blader. I almost thought it said Quick Bladder, which would be like, that's an unfortunate thing for a guy. Okay, so there's your evolution points. Here is your character, Erica. And then here are your knight tokens, basically. So these guys can kind of come out relatively easy. The Steelclad Knights, I have not pulled any of those out yet, so I'm not sure exactly what it takes, but I'm sure it's just certain cards will do it. I don't think I said before, so the way you can tell what craft a card belongs to, it's just up in the corner by the cost of the card. So that's pretty easy. And then if you get back to these that have this, not sure exactly what, this other symbol here, I think those are just the neutral ones that could go in any type of deck. All right, so that's it for the Blade of Resentment. Let's move on to the next one. All right, here we go. The Mysteries of Conjuration. So this is Runecraft. All right, let's get this sucker open. So I guess, like, I really don't know the background of this IP. I don't know if it's from a manga or what. I think it might be, but I'm just not certain. So, but I'm curious. I'd love to learn more about that world. I know it's tied to some other ones out there. Like there's the Grand Blue Fantasy, I think that's somehow connected. I don't know if it's directly or not. So there's stuff out there to learn more about it, and I wouldn't mind doing so, but I just have not done so yet. All right, let's see. We got a Mithril Golem. That's really cool, especially with the foil. I like it has like the magical effects in its foil as well. That's fun. So that's legendary. Runeblade Summoner. Demon Flame Mage. Insight. Fire Chain. Lightning Shooter. A Penguin Wizard. I mean, come on. That's fantastic. I love it. That's great. How can you go wrong with a Penguin Wizard? I don't think you can. That's amazing. Sammy, the Wizard's Apprentice. Wind Blast. Sorcery Cache. Fiery Embrace. Very cool looking characters in this set. Magic Missile. Conjure Golem. Healing Angel. Angelic Snipe. Okay, we're getting into the neutral ones again. Angelic Barrage. Demon Flame Mage is the evolved one. That's a really cool character. Evolved Penguin Wizard. You know what? I have to play the Penguin Wizard at some point just because it's a Penguin Wizard. That's fantastic. There's Sammy again. And the Healing Angel. Okay. And then there's your character card, Isabel. And then she has the Strike Form Golems, it looks like. Is that everything? Oh, and then she also has a Guard Form Golem. So, pretty good stuff. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so then we go to the Wrath of the Great Worm. This is the Dragoncraft deck. Now there is also, there's an app that goes along with the card game. I think it's like Shadowverse Sidekick or something like that. I'm honestly not totally sure what it does. I mean, I know you can keep track of your play points and whatnot, I believe. But then also it sounds like you can, put in which champion you're using and it will make little talky noises. I don't know how it knows when to do it, if it just randomly shouts things or if you have to tell it that you're attacking. And so I just don't know. But either way, it's an interesting idea. I'll see if it's fun to use that or if it's annoying. I don't know. It could be both. I'm not sure. All right, Fafnir Dragon. That's really cool. Dragon Oracle. I do love dragons. This is a cool one to have. The Dragon Warrior. Dragon Newt Princess. It's cute. Dragon Guard. Fire Lizard. Dread Dragon. Rock. Glint Dragon. Dragon Rider. Seabrand Dragon. Blazing Breath. Dragon Wings. Goliath. He's big. Angelic Sword Maiden. Angelic Snipe. Angelic Snipe's in a lot of these. Dragon Warrior Evolved. Rock Evolved. Dragon Rider Evolved. And Goliath Evolved. So let's see. There's your character, Rowan. He's got these dragon tokens, which are pretty beefy. That's a 5 attack, 5 defense. So pretty tough right out of the gate. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know what you do with this. They're blank. Interesting. I don't know if you get to make your own or what. I'm curious about that. How fascinating. All right. Anyway, on to the next one. Okay. Now we have the Waltz of the Undying Night. This is the Abysscraft. Now in that video I was watching, he'd priced out like the most, I don't know if it's the most popular deck or whatever, most winningest deck, I'm not sure, for each of these. And I know like the dragon one was the most expensive if you were to like try to get all the cards, individually. I'm not likely to ever do that. I'm not that interested in, like, I don't want to take someone else's deck idea and use it. Like that's like taking away half the play to me. Like I just don't understand. It'd be like if you're playing a board game and you're doing an engine builder, but someone else gets the engine going and you just run it. Like I don't get that at all. It doesn't sound fun. But some people do that. That's fine. Whatever works for you. If you just aren't sitting down and playing the game, that's cool. But yeah, I really feel like with these kind of games, building the deck on your own is, what makes it more fun. Especially if you're not trying to play for big prizes or anything like that. The limitation of just kind of what you've gotten in booster packs or whatever is kind of an interesting one, I think. It can kind of I think it can make the game last longer as far as being exciting and whatnot. Okay, so this I think is going to have a lot of undead kind of demon stuff. I know this one is about, you have to hurt yourself a little bit to hurt your opponent, so that's always an interesting thing to do. I always think it sounds cool thematically, but I'm always afraid to try this because I don't want to hurt myself. I want to hurt my enemy. So we have a Queen Vampire. She's legendary. Alucard. Playful Necromancer. I don't know if you want to have a Playful Necromancer. That's kind of, I don't know. Midnight Vampire. Good time to be a vampire. Night Horde. Spectre. She's kind of creepy. Spartoy Sergeant. I'm not sure what a Spartoy is, but Undead King. Not looking well. Lesser Mummy. He's kind of a little chibi, right? Like I think it's kind of hard to see what's going on, but this is big head and whatnot. Yeah, he's kind of a chibi mummy, which is different. Lilith. Razory Claw. Undying Resentment. Oh. Summon Bloodkin. We have our kind of generic ones, Fighter, Goliath again, Angelic Swordman. You think Angelic Swordman would work with these folks. There is the Evolved Playful Necromancer. The Evolved Lesser Mummy. The Evolved Lilith. And the Evolved Goliath again. Okay, so then we have Luna, who is your champion character here. And, oh, she's got Ghosts. Okay. Ghosts and then Force Bats. Very cool. That's got a huge mouth. Wow. Okay. Great. All right. Finally, we have the Immaculate Ablution. I don't know what either of those words mean, but this is from Havencraft. So I'm expecting a lot of priesty folks in here, but we will see. I feel like it's going to have like a very holy theme to it, which is sort of the opposite, I think, of the Abysscraft. Let's get into it. So I'd love to hear in the comments if any of these decks looks the most interesting to you. I mean, thematically, obviously, I'm not stopping and trying to figure out all the rules because I'll probably just end up telling you wrong at this point. I'm still not that knowledgeable about it, but let me know if any look interesting to you. So, Skullfane, Hair of Illusions, that's adorable. Priest of the Cudgel, Acolyte's Light, Dual Flames, Cruel Priestess. Oh, don't be Cruel Priestess. That's not cool. Snake Priestess. So, like, these are all, like, holy people, but some of them aren't very nice, it seems like. Ardent Nun. Guardian Nun. I do like a Battle Nun. It always, like, amuses me, so I may have to play this one or try it out. Hallowed Dogma. Death Sentence. Pinion Prayer. Beastly Vow. Angelic Sword Maiden. Healing Angel. Angelic Snipe, Priest of the Cudgel Evolved, Ardent Nun Evolved. She's kind of crazy. She's got the crazy eyes. Look at her crazy eyes. I don't know about that. Okay, Guardian Nun. That's really cool. And Healing Angel Evolved. Okay, and then we've got Eris, who's your champion, and Holy Falcons, and Holy Tiger. That's awesome. All right. So that's it. That is the Shadowverse Evolve starter decks, all 6 of the ones currently available in the US. I also have a booster box for each of the sets that are out now coming very soon. So I will be unboxing those, and you can watch me hopefully find some cool stuff. We'll see. I know some of the good cards are in the first set. I have no idea about the second set, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, let me know in the comments if this is something that might interest you to play sometime or give it a try, because I just love to hear that kind of thing. If I'm the only one who likes this awesome anime art, I don't think I am, but tell me what you think. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like it, share it, and click this button to subscribe. If you like that one, you might also like this one.
Or this one.
I cannot believe what I did in that one. Holy cow.
I can.
Of course you can. All right. Anyway, we'll see you around the table.
Bye.
Bye.